Permaset was invented in 1962 and has been the leading brand in Australia for that whole time. Permaset differs to a lot of art material products in that it is sold not only into the art materials industry but also into the screen printing trade. So it's a full-strength industrial product, but the big thing about Permaset Aqua is that it's very, very strong in the environmental area. It's 100% water-based and passes Okie-Tex Class 1.
So if it's it's actually a professional product. So it's like when we were saying professional paint and student paint, this is like the professional, right?
Well, this is full-on professional, commercial, industrial.
That means the colors have to be calibrated? Like, I mean, they're perfect colors out of every jar? It's always the same color?
Same color.
What does it mean exactly?
Light fast, chemical resistant, dry clean resistant, wash resistant, rub resistant, extremely fine particle size.
So it goes through any kind of a silk screen, and the finest screens, right?
What's extraordinary about this product is for a water-based product, it'll go through 350 threads per inch mesh. Now, most screen printers, you talk to them about water-based, they won't try it through anything finer than 100.
Really?
Thread.
3 times more?
110, 3 times more.
Right, and that's just because you have it micronized or so finely ground, or how does that work?
Oh, it's special proprietary chemistry, but it's a big part of it is...
You are a chemist too, aren't you?
I am a chemist, yes.
So that's how it's all happening. Now we're getting into the truth of it, right?
That's right, yeah. We've had a very strong environmental commitment, so we embarked on this project about 3 years ago, and we just wanted to make a 100% water-based product, but we expected that our customers would have to accommodate some performance compromises.
Right.
By working with the leading printers in Australia, we've been able to incrementally improve our product, and it's now, we believe, the best in the world.
Well, that's fabulous. How can we see, does it show the range in here? This is the colors, right?
Yes.
Let's just look at the fabric samples and just see exactly, that's probably the way to go.
Okay.
See what we can see. Oh, wow.
Yep, that's big.
That is really bright, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
The standard range has 12 colours.
Does standard mean transparent? Or?
Transparent, yes, that's correct.
They're very bright.
That's 12 colours plus black and 2 whites. Then we have 8 glow colours, 4 metallics, and a glow in the dark, like a phosphorescent green, like on your hands of your watch.
Oh boy!
So you can see it at night.
So this glows in the dark, and these are just kind of like what you call glow colors.
Yeah, these are fluorescent.
Right, I
that's
gotcha.
Phosphorescent. Then the entire standard range we replicated in an opaque range, and these that's straight colour with no white beneath it. So, and that's really, really unique.
That's opaque, so you can paint on dark fabrics, right?
Absolutely. So that's 100% water-based, totally opaque, straight down.
That's quite unique,
on black fabric. That's absolutely unique. And,
right. What do we have down here?
And then we have the eight opaque fluorescent colours, and this is just to show you how the metallic colours work on a black background. So we have.
So these are the fluorescent colors that are opaque?
Yes, and then the pearl white, silver, gold, and copper, and again we have the glow in the dark colour.
Right. These are terrific. So, I mean, you can really do a lot of work with this, and you can get some stunning effects. I think you were showing me some fabric samples, and maybe we should take a look at them.
Well, part of the conventional wisdom in screen printing is that you can't get water-based to work to do a whole bunch of things. So this is a T-shirt done by one of our printers in Australia, and in fact the guys that printed this shirt the previous year, they did the same hot rod show T-shirt with a plastisol, and they told us that our ink wouldn't go through their 305 line screens. And within 12 months they've converted over 50% of their production to water-based, and this shirt here was done, the first down white was printed through 195 thread mesh, and then flash dried, and then the 6 colours were printed wet on wet over the top.
Wow.
So that's 305 Tmex.
First down wet is just to get your opaque layer, right?
That's correct, and you end up with a much softer handle on the finished print.
But first down means that it's got what, a tooth that will pick up the other colors. In other words, there's a regular white and a first down white.
Yeah,
right?
we have the super cover white. So we'll just talk about the first down white first. So the super cover white is sort of very, very highly pigmented. The first down white has got less pigment in it, but it's got a much bigger tooth, so it effectively acts as a primer. So you put that down through the screen, you flash dry it, and then you can print the other 6 colours wet on wet, and that's another first.
So wet on wet means that they actually mix right in as they're printed. They're kind of
it's less the mixing than the fact that they can go from one screen printing station to the next without having to dry it in between.
Oh, right.
So that's something of a step forward. The standard super cover white, that's the flagship of the range.
Right.
That's
what's this? This is nylon or what?
That's sort of like a rain jacket.
Oh boy, like a sports
with the sleeves cut out.
People could use that or something. But I mean, this fabric it's not that easy to silk screen, is it?
Well, again, that's one of the things we've been told you can't print on this, and we have that right there.
It's there, I tell you.
It's been
terrific.
Air dried with like a hairdryer.
Right.
And this sample's actually been washed twice. You can see that's
right.
That's not going anywhere.
Looks quite fresh, yeah.
Really, really soft handle.
It is.
Great opacity, and it's 100% water-based. So every time you use this, you're doing something positive for the environment.
Yeah, that's great. Show us some more.
The special polymer chemistry that we have allows us to adhere to a full range of synthetic products.
So are synthetics normally kind of hard to silk screen, or do you need a special additive?
Well, that's typically what you need is an additive for synthetics, an additive for stretch material, etc., etc. This is a 100% polyester, and you can see the vibrancy of the colours, great adhesion, and no additives at all. So this is really, really nice and soft.
Additives does that make it kind of like hard, or is additives just something that's bad for the environment because it's toxic? Or
there's several sorts of additives. Like for this job, you would normally need a synthetic additive, and once you do that, your formaldehyde rating would go off the Richter scale. Our product has been tested to Oekitex Class 1. It's below 20 parts per million, and so it can be used on baby clothes under 2 years, on lingerie, on intimate apparel.
Wow.
By the major sporting brands and by the Japanese.
Right.
This is a stretch fabric for swimwear. Again, that's
this is tough fabric.
Hold that. Yep. So
this is tough fabric, huh? Speedo.
No stretch additives in there. No synthetic additives, and the product works right out of the jar. And at a practical level, that confers a lot of advantages for a print shop, because historically, what would happen is the first printer would come along and he'd have a synthetic job to do, add synthetic additive, put the finished ink back in the jar.
In other words, when you had ink left over, you'd pour it in the jar, it would already have that additive in it.
Yeah, and so the next guy would come along, he'd have a stretch job and he'd put stretch additive in and then put it back in the jar.
Now you got 2 additives in there, right?
Yep.
So you're really polluting the stock, right?
Yeah, and so with this, it's all the quality is built in there, all the performance, all the stretch, all the adhesion.
This is so soft.
Resistance.
You know, it feels like something I'd want to wear.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about screen printing for textiles, is it needs to be comfortable. But typically, if you had a soft product, it'd wash off, as soon as you looked at it. But we have exclusive access to a proprietary polymer that gives us softness and strength. And we've had this tested.
So this is special chemistry, right?
This is
special polymer, and nobody else really has this.
That's right. And 30 washes at 150 degrees Fahrenheit under commercial conditions, and there was negligible sign of degradation of the polymer of the print. The unprinted areas, it was such an aggressive environment, but the unprinted areas...
The wash was a real tough wash and not so hot, huh?
That's right. Well, the unprinted areas were actually degrading, but the printed areas were actually helping to hold the textile together.
Oh boy, that's a new one.
Yeah, well, it's really, really high performance product.
Right. I suppose you can get these in all different sizes.
Yep. The smallest size we stock is a 300 ml, which is just under 11 ounce.
Right.
We then have the litre.
That's like this one?
Sorry. Yep. The litre, which is just a bit bigger than a quart.
All those come in, all the colors come in a liter?
All the colours come in litres.
NAMTA is really, really a fount of information. And if you weren't able to come, you just watch this video.